Well, hello, my crafty friends, and how are you? I hope all is well with you. And obviously, I'm here to give you some more inspiration and ideas on your Christmas makes, namely your Christmas cards. And I have got 3 for you today. So I've got this one, which is just snowflakes and Christmas trees. And I've got this one, which is again snowflakes but with a dangling bauble. And I don't know if you can see that. It's got kind of a nice center. And then this one with a pheasant. So, obviously I have done a little bit of preparation. I'm not expecting you to sit right through me doing and repeating the same thing all the time, but if you do like what you see, please like and subscribe so you get notifications on all future videos that I do. If you could do that, that'd be absolutely brilliant. And also, if you could like and share and copy the video onto other pages or groups that you belong to, like on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, what have you. If you could copy and paste onto those groups that you belong to, that again would be absolutely awesome and be very brilliant. Okay, let's do some crafting. Right, so what I've done, basically, I decided when I bought these stencils from Lavinia Stamps, there's 4 of them, as you can see, and it's Autumn Mist collection. And I got my inspiration, I think it's Amanda Braniston, and I think she's one of the designers for, Lavinia. And I saw one of her cards and I thought, oh, that's really nice. So I kind of semi-replicated it. So if I've got the name wrong, I do apologize, but yeah, it is really good. So what I have done is basically put your let's go from the beginning. 6x6 inch square card blank, and I've just used Crafter's Companion multi-purpose card, plain and simple. That's it. And I'm just going to tape the top and bottom of this stencil to my card blank like that, so you can see that. You can do the bottom. I think I will do the bottom. It just saves it moving around, because look, it can slide, so obviously we don't want that. So I'm just going to fold that over, keep that in place, and I think hopefully that'll do. That'll be fine. Right, so I've got my dauber, and I used in all 3 cards tumbled glass. I did try and look it for the distress ink, so I've got it in the big pad, but I haven't got it in the small pad. I don't think it's been released yet, but if you want to use the distress oxide equivalents, then crack on. It'd be really good. You can still do that. You can do what I'm doing, you can still use with distress oxides, is what I'm trying to say. So but yeah, but I've used the original distress ink. So like, ink up your dauber and just get the ink down onto your cardstock. Now I've damaged mine, well, not damaged it, it's just bent it. I've just bent it, so I'm just being really careful around this area. And this can move around, so just keep your thumb or finger on it and that will keep it in place. And then just carry on going round, getting ink down onto your cardstock, just like that. You can go as deep as you want, if you know, it doesn't really matter. It's quite a pale colour anyway, so so if I take this off, you will see don't worry about that, because that's on the wrong side anyway. So and there you open that a little bit, get that a little bit off. I get rid of those, and then that is basically the foundation for all the cards. So as with stamps, give your stencil a quick wipe, and that is basically it. And that is it. So that's the foundation for the card. I've put the stencil back into its packet. And then that is that. We can, and as promised, I have done 3 already done. So let's do the first one, which is the one with the trees. And I used the Lavinia stamps on this one. So I used a tree and get some copy paper, and I just used, and as you can see, I've throughout all these samples I've stuck to one colour, which is blue, obviously, because to me, and it just makes it really nice. So and not too complicated. So I'm just going to lay that down, get that over there, and I used VersaFine Majestic Blue. You can use the Nocturne, is it called? That's the Lavinia Stamps ones. Hang on. Yeah, VersaFine Claire, that's the ones. If you've got a blue in those, then yeah, you can use that. So I'm going to use this one, which is, as I said earlier, Majestic Blue. I'm going to ink up my stamp. Now what I don't want to do is for the stalk or the trunk of the tree to come down below this. So hence why I've got copy paper. So I'm just going to there we go, and I'm not going to go too mad with this, and then we can put another one in, maybe up there, and that's all I'm going to do. I think I'm not going to go too mad, I don't think, or shall I? How many have I done on that one? 1, 2, yeah, could do a couple, do some more. So again, just light tapping on your ink pad, so light tapping onto your stamp, and then I think I'm just going to put one there. And I think that is it. That's all I'm going to do, because otherwise I will go over the top and I will do too many, and then it will ruin it. So clean stamp, as many of you know me by now, clean your stamps, and then we can get just a bit of dry tissue, put that back onto its carrier sheet, and we know that is clean to go next time. So all we need to do now, see, this is basically a very quick, easy, straightforward Christmas cards, which is what I'm all about at the moment. And the snowflake came from the Indigo Blue Mixed Media Special 10, and it's the yeah, Indigo Blue, and it's a box collection that came out about a couple of months ago. And I've got, and that's what I use for, this is what I used for the second card, which we will get to, but I also used the little snowflake because it was just a nice delicate one, and I thought, oh, that's really nice. So that's what I used, and I just want that one. And what I did also was just to, I didn't want it too dark, so as you can see, I did stamp off. And you don't need so, and that's basically it. It's not massive amount of to do, and I just basically kept it fairly straightforward and easy, because it's one of those designs that you can do loads of very quickly, which obviously this time of year, when we're really getting and gearing up our Christmas makes, obviously we like them, and there's no harm either as well, if you want to, is to put some die cut snowflakes over the because I've got some here, and if you just edge it in blue, which I might do later for you, again, you know, you've got some nice effects there, so we'll come on to those later. So that's basically your first card, and all I did as well, I can find it, I did have it, here it is, there you go, Inkostella. If you got a glitter pen, that's absolutely fine, but just a little bit of Inkostella over the shadow of the moon, just to give it a slight lift down on the drips and down there. And again, we can go up the other side. Just like that. And then we can also bear with me. These. Right, some gems, some little tiny gems. We can put those on just into the center of the snowflakes, like so, and that just gives it a bit more of a Christmas feel, bit of sparkle. Got to have a bit of sparkle at Christmas. So just a little bit of down there, and one up there, one there, and that's basically all there is. You don't need that's basically your first card done. That's the first one done, and it's not taken very long to do. So what I will do later is matte and layer that onto silver card, and then onto my card blank. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. I trimmed this down to a 5.5 by 5.5 card blank. I mean, you can start off with doing that, but I just found it easier for me. Yeah, so that is going to end up at a 5-inch square. So yeah, there you go. So that's what I trimmed it down to. So let's do that now for you, because then you can see what I mean. And then, so I just trimmed 1/2 inch of each side. And the reason being is that it gives you room then to mat and layer your card. So there we go, that's our finish. And also, I mean, again, I mean, it depends how little, how much you actually want to do. You could as well, oh, where's it gone now? Oh, it's still on the just go around the edge with any ink that's left on the dauber, on the pad, and just go around the edge. It won't show up a lot, but it'll be enough just to do, you know, just to show up. And that's your first one. So yeah, you've got plenty of options, and there's enough room as well. Put your Christmas greeting, which obviously I like. You've got to have your Christmas greeting. So that's your first one then. So again, I just matte and laid it onto silver card, onto a card blank, job done. Now your second one is this one. And what I did here on this one, just to slightly change it around a bit. Again, I've done all the stenciling, so you're not going to see me do it again. Because you've already seen me do it. But so here, what I did was get rid of the gems. What's this? With this kit, you get this whole stamp set. You've got 2 here, and I used this one because I thought it was quite nice. It's like well, a hint of an Indian, basically. And I also, as well, for those of you observant enough, if I've got it, I did have it, because I've used it. Here it is, I've got it. With the kit as well, you get a stencil. So I used the stencil, and Again, going in with the blue, I didn't go over the top with this, and just positioned myself with the stencil, and just went round. Now I didn't go beyond what I've already done, so I'm using that blue mask part of the as my guide, because I don't want to go beyond that. Obviously, I want to keep the snowflakes within that circle that I've created. So it's just being patient and going around and using the ink to get into all the little nooks and crannies of the snowflakes, and just get that ink right in. And I'm going to leave it like that, so I'm not going to do any more. So that's enough of that. I'll put that back over there. So you can see, if I lift that up, you can see these snowflakes. So cool. Right. So give my little stamp a little clean, just to get rid of any, probably not a lot on there, but so we can get our little stamp, and which I already got out, didn't I? So what did I do with it? Why am I so like this? Oh well. Oh, here it is. Left it on top. Right, so there's our stamp. So I'm just going to lay that down on there very gently. Get my blue ink pad, and again I'm using the Majestic blue. I'm just going to ink this up. And what I'm going to do is, if you can see, wow, that's too much. So yeah, be careful, because you don't want to go so I think try that. Yes. So there we go. So we have got, but even if you do go a little bit over the edge, don't fret about it, because you can always cover it up with a snowflake, or you can overstamp. So it's not so obvious. So so yeah, you can always just overstamp it where it's gone a little bit over the top. That's not a problem. So what you can do to detract the attention away from it is, and I've obviously stamped it off first. See, it's disguised itself, so you've hidden it. So I'm just gonna stamp some of these snowflakes right around the edge, and but I'm taking off the first generation because I don't want it to be that strong. So, and again, just take off the first lot of ink. And I think we can do with possibly one more. There we go. And that's basically it for the second one. Again, you don't need very much. You've just got a subtle hint of Christmas. And again, you've got space down here once you've trimmed it to add your greeting, your sentiment, what have you. So that's good. So we can put this, and again, you can put in a little bit of your, I'm gonna put this in the center, and I'll explain to you in a minute. So again, I'm just going around the shape of the moon with the Winker Stella, just to give the moon my... See this droppy bits, it just like the snow is melting, which is what I kind of appealed to me. Even though they were released as a Halloween, part of a Halloween set, it's still you can still use it for Christmas. Just because you buy things and it's in a given set, you can still adapt it and use it for other things, for other themes like Christmas. So yeah, so hence why I decided to do a video on this, to give you some inspiration. So if you've got something similar, you can think, oh yeah, I can do that and that and that and that. So I'm just going to go back now. The secret here in the middle is I went over it 2 or 3 times. So I gave this middle bit 2 or 3 layers, and that really brought it out. So I really wanted to highlight that middle. So just give that a moment to dry, and then just do it again. Just keep adding the layers. And you can see that that middle bit really stands out now, and you can see the rest of the shadow of the moon. It's got a slight subtle sheen where we've gone over it. So, and again, with the first one, I'm not going to do it now because you've already seen it. Put gems in the snowflakes. You can put one at the top, of the top of the baubles thing, and more gems on the snowflakes, and that's it. Trimmed it down, and that's your second card done. So and we've only used 1 ink pad, so that can go to bed because we've completed that, and we've just got one more to do, which is the pheasant. So here I used my hill stencil, create the hills. I didn't use any mask or anything, just left it, kept it really straightforward and simple. And I might do something slightly different this time, and we'll see how we get on. So again, exactly as I've done before, stencil attached to the card, round with the ink pad in the stencil, and now I'm going to just go it in with my mountain or hill stencil and just create some hills. And I'm just going to keep within what I've already created. So I'm keeping within this I'm treating it as though I've got a complete circle go around there. So I'm taking the ink out as far as there, that's as far as I'm going. So I'm not needing to do much more. And again, I'm not going to do very much. Yeah, don't drop your not a good thing. Right, I'm going to leave it like that. Oh yeah, also clean your stencil, because I think it was on the back of that one. I didn't clean this the last time, and there was a bit of green still on it. So when I was coming to do the hill, I ended up with a green hill. Not that that matters, but it's just to show it happens. Right, okay, so we can put all this to bed, put all this away. I'm not going to need any of that. I'll sort that out later. I do need the no, I'm not, because I'm going to use the die cuts that I've used. So we'll get our pheasant stamp, and we need to get our stamping platform. We'll put these. So again, it's a Lavinia stamp, and I'm going to get my stamping platform. And I actually treated myself to a new one because, well, you've probably seen it on previous videos. It was getting a bit worse for wear. I've had it, well, since they first came out. I don't know how long ago that was. Quite a few number of years, I would imagine. So I thought, and I've had this in its box for quite a while. And I'm thinking, do you know what? I really ought to get it out and use it. So this morning when I was prepping for all of this, I thought, yeah, about time I used it, got it out. So we've got our pheasant stamp, and again, if you used the so I can get away with that, and I want to try, if possible, so that would be let's just give it a whirl. So I want yeah, and I'm going to use VersaFine Black. And what I'm going to do, if I swing this around, you can see what I'm going to do. I'm just going to clean, because I've got some ink at the top there by his head, clean that off. And I think I'm going to clean off some. Well, it might be alright. What do I need? Might be a little bit more on that one. I'm going to leave it like that. So I think, try that. If it doesn't work, that's why I've cut out the snowflakes. So I get away with just a slight smidgen. Let's go for it. See what happens. So again, as we've done before, just allow the ink to penetrate and get into the card. Actually, it's not too bad. That is pretty good, actually. I'm pleased with that. So if you need to, just ink it up again. I'm just going to clean the top of this stamp because and then bring him back over it again. And I'm going to leave it like that, I think. Yes, I'm not going to go do any more. So clean your stamp. And then we can give that a quick dry. We know that is clean for the next time, and we know cool, excellent. And then we can put our stamp back. Put that to one side, put that there. So we've got our... Now you can, if you want to, get a black liner pen and just go over it with a black and make it darker if you want, but I'm not, that's entirely up to you. But I'm just going to leave it like that. And what you can do, which is why I got these out, is let's get a darker blue, which is what I showed you, trying to explain earlier, if you so desire. Instead of stamping the snowflakes, you can just die cut some snowflakes just and go around the edge, and I've used the next one up, which is broken china, and then put them around the edge if you so desire, just like that. And that's all you need to do. And you've got another one which can go down there. And then if you want, again, we can go in and stamp a few snowflakes. Did I put it back? Yes, I did. That was good of me. Move those out of the way because we know where those are going. And get our bit of scrap paper again. Ink up the snowflake, stamp it off, and just basically what we did the first time round on the previous cards. Again, just like tapping all over. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Maybe one more the other side. Like that, like so. And I think for me, that is it. So what I would do now is get some 3D foam palettes, which I've got up here. The 3D foam pads. I'm just going to, now if you don't want to, you can obviously just glue them down. That'll be absolutely fine. But I think now I can add a little bit more dimension. Like that. Probably do a bigger one down here. Now, see, I want that to cover that, so if I can possibly get away with doing that, I can do so, and just give it a bit of a dusting of colour around the edge. There should be enough ink for me to do that, so it shouldn't take too much. It should be enough, and I'm going to tuck that in. There, and you wouldn't know any different. So again, we can put a bit of one on there. And then take off the backing. Actually, I'm just going to do one more because I've just realised something. So yeah, I'm going to leave that because there we go. So that's the second one done-ish, but yeah, all I did on this one, once I've stenciled it, I used this stamp, which is again a Lavinia stamp, and it's I have got it. Here it is. It's that one, and it does actually fit quite well around the curve of the there. And I used the Majestic Blue, and once I've stenciled it, I then stamped it with this stamp around the edge. And so yeah, that's what I was going to do, but I got carried away with my snowflakes. So yeah, and again with this, if you want, you can actually put stickles and that in the flower bits. And again, if you want to, just to cover up these bits, you can of course use some snowflakes, and that will cover up those little bits, and you've got one for down there should you so desire. Now if you've got, which I should have, so get rid of those, so we know what we're going to do with those. If you've got a white gel pen, Or the other alternative is don't like that. Still, I can't do anything about it now. But yeah, so you can I'll go and get it. Instead of using white gel pen, if you want, you can actually just go in with your stickles. So let me just give this top a quick clean. And this is icicle, appropriately enough. So just along the top of your fence post, we've got a little bit of sparkle going on there. That's all I'm going to do with that. Clean that, and then with my hint of Stella, just gonna and then maybe a little bit on the moon or the curve that we've created. Then the melting ice. And go around the top if you so desire. And that is it. That's that for that. I think I'm going to leave it at that before I spoil it. So yeah, so that is it. Yay! So I hope that's given you some inspiration and some food for thought, and you've enjoyed it. So if you have, like I said to you at the beginning, please like and subscribe, and spread the word, share to other channels if you, and to other websites and to other groups that you belong to on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. If you could do that, that'd be absolutely marvelous. Thank you very much for joining me, and I look forward to sharing with you the next time. Bye for now. Bye.